Hey, my people. I don't know about you, but yesterday was just much needed all around. I know I had a chance to get caught up on some things, and judging by the amount of times I heard ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding in my inbox, you guys all had a chance to get caught up on some missing work too. So ready to hop back into learning today, though. Monday, we saw that waves are not rope moving horizontally or even water moving horizontally, but it's really energy that's moving through that rope or that water. And since it's not the water itself moving across the ocean, that tsunami, it doesn't create a huge hole in the ocean. And a lot of you described it as the water almost kind of filling back in for itself because all it's doing is moving up and down. If you still have your slow-mo video from Monday, or if you want to take a look at mine, I want you to pause it and I want you to sketch the path of the wave that you see across your screen in your ISN. You might even add a fixed point like my porch, maybe a source of that oscillating energy. Draw a little stick figure there. Once you've got your initial sketch of a wave, we're going to actually diagram all of the different parts of this together. You might find it helpful to have a couple of different colors, but if you're just working with one pencil or one color, that's okay too. So thinking about our experiment on Monday, in order for us to actually be able to see a wave, we need kind of a substance that energy is traveling through, and that we call a medium. So the medium of a wave is a substance that carries the energy. We can have all different kinds of mediums when it comes to waves. Like we've seen over the last couple of weeks, tsunamis are waves that travel through water. Or if we think about our experiment on Monday, the energy that we were contributing to the system was put into our rope. Over the next couple of days, we're going to see how waves even travel through things like air or various types of solids. Before you got rolling with your oscillating up and down motion, chances are your rope or your extension cord or whatever you were using was kind of laying flat. It was laying horizontal, and there wasn't a whole lot of energy in it because you weren't putting energy into it yet. I want you to take your pencil here or your markers or whatever you're drawing with and make yourself a horizontal line across your wave. And that horizontal line, kind of that flat position, is what we call our resting position. And all that means is our position before we put any type of energy into that medium. As soon as we start adding energy, we see this up and down motion. And our up and down motion creates kind of these high points and low points of our wave. And there are a very specific name for those. The high point is what we call the crest of the wave. And as you can probably see, there's multiple crests throughout our rope here. Where there's a high point, there's usually a low point as well. And that low point is what we call a trough. If you'll notice with that trough too, in this diagram we've got 1, 2, 3 of them. The crest and trough are super important because those tell us the wave height, or how tall total that wave is. So if we measure from the very top to the very bottom, that distance is what we know as our wave height. Wave height is important because it tells us how much space that wave is taking up. But if we just want to know what the displacement is from our rest position to either our crest or our trough, we would call that amplitude. And that amplitude measures the max displacement, either up or down. Whether we're looking at our amplitude from rest position to the crest or rest position to the trough, because waves are symmetrical, they're actually going to be the exact same distance. Important thing to note about amplitude is actually half of the wave height. Most of the terms that we've looked at so far have had to do with vertical or up and down components of our wave, but the very last one we're going to hit today is called wave length. Really, it's just like it sounds. The wave length is the length of a wave. And that wavelength is measured from either crest to crest. That right there equals one wave. Or we could even measure it from trough to trough, and that equals one wave. As long as that energy has been able to travel one cycle, we would consider that one wavelength.